What qualities should men look for in a wife? Well, I'm going to give you three of them. First of all, she needs to be spiritual. She doesn't just need to go to church, but she needs to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. If you do not sense that she has an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, then I would not consider getting into a relationship with her. The second thing is not only does she need to be spiritual, but she needs to be supportive. In other words, does she support your dreams? Does she encourage you? Does she make you a better man? Are you better with her than you are without her? And then the third thing that you should look for if you're a guy wanting to pursue a wife is not only is she spiritual, not only is she supportive, but is she selfless? Does she give of herself not just to you, but to other people as well? What are some needs that most guys have in a relationship that oftentimes women may not know about? I think the biggest thing is that men just want to be respected. We want to be supported. We want to be encouraged. Oftentimes we think that, a man's greatest need is for sex. Well, that may be important whenever you get married, but even more important than that is to be respected by the woman that we love. We want her to admire us. We want her to look up to us. We want her to believe in us. We want her to support our dreams and our goals, even if other people around us do not. A second need that most men have is a need for companionship. In other words, it's not all about what's going on in the bedroom. Sometimes you just want to have a good time. You want to hang out. You want to go shoot pool with your girl. You want to catch a movie. You want to travel. If you're married, you want to travel together, not when you're single. But you just want to have fun, and you want to be able to have that person that is not just someone that you're attracted to, but someone that you consider to be a friend, your best friend. The third need that a lot of women may not know that we need, but that is our need to be vulnerable and transparent. So if you are a woman, you're a wise woman, you will create the type of environment in your relationship where your man feels comfortable sharing with you his deepest secrets, his deepest failures, his flaws, even his insecurities, and all sorts of things that he may not feel comfortable telling other people, but he will feel comfortable telling you if you create that environment. A great scripture that I believe that all singles should reflect on a regular basis is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, which says, "Guard your heart." Why? "For out of it flows the issues of life." And so in other words, what he's saying is, he's not saying that we should go around being fearful to get into a relationship in fear that you'll get hurt, but he's saying be very careful as to who you allow in your heart, because out of your heart will flow the issues of life. In other words, trust issues, abandonment issues, self-esteem issues. So this happens oftentimes whenever we enter into relationships that we never had any business being in. So the relationship did not work out. So how do you move on from a breakup? Well, the first thing I would say would be to make sure that you have closure from that past relationship. In other words, if there's any bitterness, any anger, make sure you talk to that person and really close that relationship out. The second thing that I would say is don't go back to that person. Don't try to be friends with them. Don't try to have this relationship where you guys are still texting and calling. No, cut the relationship completely off, because the longer you keep that door open, the more your heart is going to continue to be engaged with that person, and the longer it's going to take you to move on. The third thing that I would say would be to make sure that you get in community, because after a breakup, let me tell you, you are going to be in a very vulnerable state whenever you're going to be tempted to go and do things with people, maybe ex-boyfriends or girlfriends, or just people that you really shouldn't be hanging out with because you're lonely, right? But if you can have a good community of people around you, people that you can hang out with and have a good time, they can, in a sense, fill that space of loneliness in your life and keep you from making negative decisions. What advice would I give to someone whose girlfriend or boyfriend has cheated on them? Well, my advice would be simple. You're not married to the person, so that right there, they're telling you right then and there what they're about, what their character is about. Me personally, I would not give them a second chance. If you're married, that's a totally different story because you made a covenant with God. But if you are single and you continue to get into a relationship or continue a relationship with someone who has already shown you that they do not have integrity by cheating on you, then all you're doing is asking for trouble in the future.